What's going on, world? It has been a minute since I've been back in this space. Man, oh man, I feel like I need to play this track for y'all real quick. What? Let's see. Will it play? Will it play? Let's see. What we doing? Hey, it's been a long time since I left you. Without a dope beat to rock to. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Just bringing back, who I am. First time tuning in, checking your boy out. My name is Guy A. Holly. I am a grant educator, a grant guide, a grant writer. Some call me the master grant creator. However you want to flip that, I'm here to help get you to the grants. And the reason why we're doing this, and the reason why I do this, is because one, I care to see communities change and really radically transform. And so with that, I know grants are a great tool to be able to utilize to help you to achieve that goal as a part of your overall transformation strategy. So we're going to get right into it. So where have I been? Where has Guy been? Honestly, y'all, I took my advice. Right. I took my advice, the last, if you look at the last real like video post I made, we've been talking about, the customer experience and then really talking about our internal teams. Right. And I dove from your organizational team down to the smaller unit of your family team. And for me, what I realized that one, as part of my family, they weren't suffering or anything, but we wanted to see some things differently. Right. And then also for myself, thanks. Shout out to Whoop, right? I hope to become a sponsor one day. But Whoop, right? It tracks my data. It shows me how well I'm sleeping, how well I'm resting, so that way I'm ready to perform for the next day with training, whatever it may be, and all that information was pointing back to, okay, guy, you got to make some changes. Um, and so this is what I started doing, right? Hopping. Before I get into the details, let's go back again over the last few weeks. I mean, not few weeks, but it's been a few weeks since I've been back. You can tell I'm out of practice, right? I'm out of practice of doing this, but like we're gonna keep it 100. Um, prior to today, we have been talking about the customer experience levels to customer experience. One is with yourself. That's the first layer of customer experience. You have to sell yourself every single day. That second layer is with your team because you show up to a team, whether it be in your nonprofit, your small business, wherever it may be, at your church organization, there is a team that's in some way helping you to do this. And then a portion of that team is your family team or your team of friends, the ones that are really, really close to you that you see outside of work that you're spending a lot of time with. And in some cases, depending on how you operating, it could be a little bit of time with. I fell into that trap that at one point in my season in life, I was spending a little bit of time with my family, and that was causing some major changes. And so, as to prevent that, I'm having more frequent conversations to make sure that, hey, my family is being fed first before I go and try to transform the world. What we haven't got to yet are the other layers. One is your external teams, right? It could be community partners and things of that nature. And then lastly, the actual customer, the person that's going to be utilizing your product and service. But we're going to hop back into where I've been at. And so what I did, right? What I made sure to do first was did a family assessment. We really can't make changes until we assess what is happening in our environment, right? Those things, it could be, um, right. For me, it was, hey, family, wife, Courtney, I need you all. I need to have a conversation with y'all to see where we're going. Shout out to my coaching community, the ULU Mastermind. Our coaches in there are really challenging us to make sure that we're healthy in every area. So I'm listening to what they're saying and then taking that information back directly to my household first and to the people I work with. And so I initiated open dialogue with them, making sure that, hey, they're prepared to have this conversation because one, I've been thinking about it, for a period of time, but I also don't need to give them some time to think about it before we had that conversation. And so I asked my wife, say, hey, when's a good time we can have this? 2, 3 days? Let's schedule this out so we can talk about it. The next thing, and also with doing that, it helps to get them in the right mindset and also sets the environment for a healthy conversation. And that's what you want when you're especially, approaching something like this. Also make sure you're in the right mindset, because sometimes hearing that feedback, it can trigger your emotions to go either way. But so making sure that the environment is safe and healthy for you and the people that you want to talk to, that's in your that immediate circle. For this purpose, I'm gonna say my family circle, right? The next thing, one thing I did, I'm looking at my notes over here too. That's another thing I'm putting in practice, keeping notes, so that way we stay in line with this time in 15 minutes in and out, get this information. Um, the other component is now, reflection and scheduling, right? We had the conversation. They shared what we love, what's going on. But then they also, I asked them, hey, where, can we want some changes? What's important to you? Kids, what do you want more of? More time with daddy, more reading books, more, whatever it may be at. And then I'll say, okay, cool. Let me take that information back. Let's look at everything we have going on and where can I make time, right? Again, we have the ability to control our time, and we have to set things in place. And so review my schedule, made sure, see where the gaps were, see what I could shift, what can I do. Also, I analyzed my time. Like, okay, yeah, I'm actually not spending as much time on this as I think I am. Let's cut this out, and in my breaks, let's use this 15 minutes to get, hey kid, hey Bella, let's spend this next 15 minutes together. I prep her. What do you want to do during this time period, so that way when it comes to that time, I'm already ready to go and she's ready to go, and we just have that time together. What do you need from me in the evenings? What do you need on Thursdays, Courtney, when you come back, from the homeschool community? That's your longest day. What do you need me to do? Right? Have dinner ready. Take care of bath time as soon as they get in, because they've been playing all day. Cool, bet. Let's not plan anything from this time period. Knowing myself, I will work right up to that minute they get home. So what I said, no, we can't schedule any time, any calls, any coaching between 3:30 to this period of time, because this is when your wife needs you the most. And so made those adjustments. Lastly, um, y'all. So in the past, I've talked about the flight assessment. It's what ET and the team, Mustafa, they took the disc assessment, repackaged it up, and gave it back format where it's super easy to understand and real critical to help you to understand yourself. And with that, some terms of pilots, grounds crew, and different things came out of that, like picture airport pilots, grounds crew, air traffic control, flight attendant. For me, my dominant style as a pilot means I am a go-getter. It's like always on, thinking about something, thinking about change, putting it, going ahead, going forward. And also in some cases, what happens with that naturally as a pilot, if you're not aware, you try to do it all at one time. And I know I'm guilty of doing that versus breaking it down to incremental steps. And so when I took the approach that I took this time was, okay, what's the easiest thing for me to do? What can I easily tweak and start implementing over a week? Okay, let's see how this goes over this week. Cool, it wasn't that bad. I can do more. All right. So I gave myself permission to take small steps into achieving everything that I heard, because naturally I wanted to just do it all at one time. When I revamped this whole schedule, and then in reality, what was going to happen from that was that everything was going to be crazy in my life, and I would have had to deal with it. I would have got frustrated, and then I would have quit what they said they wanted to see, what they wanted to be done. So from there, that allowed me to be consistent with the changes, and a portion of that, right, was, even though it was hard for me, was stopping getting to the grants, right? Because I was doing those in the evenings, we're a little bit more sporadic with some things, and it wasn't a consistent time frame. And so one of the things that helped me to see that was, again, back to my Whoop, because I was doing these in the evening. My brain was getting back geared up, being creative, coming into space with you all, to share my thoughts and everything and what was happening. It was taking me a longer time to shut down so I can go to sleep. My brain was still working as I was sleeping, because I didn't give it time to actually shut down. Very much like the gym, like you got to have a warm up before you start lifting, you can get hurt. Going to bed, you have to really shut yourself down so that way you can get adequate rest. And I mean, thanks to having my coach, Coach Kiwi, she really harped on me about that. Looking at my Whoop data, that helped me to see that, yeah, God, this isn't working. Like, let's stop. Let's do some stretches. Let's do some deep breathing. Let's do all these steps so that way you can actually sleep. And guess what, y'all? I've been having the best rest ever, right? I mean, even like 6.5 hours, I'm waking up full on green. I'm like, yo, let's go to the gym. We doing everything, creative juices flowing and all that. So that's been good. But I had to make a decision. I had to make some tough decisions in this space, and you may have to do the same as well. But I encourage you to do it. And now that we're back, it leads me to the next portion of I had to identify external help, right? Um, just how I was raised, it was like, hey, you got to figure it out on your own. I mean, some helps to other things in society. They push that, figure out on your own, do it yourself. But in reality, to really achieve big and radical goals, you got to have a team. You got to have people that's helping you out. And one of my coaches, his name is Wadzir, in the UAU Mastermind, he recommended a book, Who Not How, by Dan Sullivan. And as I went through that book, I'm like, okay, God, you've always had these thoughts, but no, let's look at every area in your life, not just to grow in the business, not just to having a team of grant writers working with you, but let's look at how we schedule out this podcast. So I hired, I brought in and I reached out to, she's actually already on my team. I wasn't even tapping into the gift that she already had of, not only is she a copywriter, shout out to Mel T of the Get in the Wind show, Melissa Thomas, but she also was in this production space. One of the largest black owned reporting newspaper spaces in Florida, from nothing to doing numbers. And I'm like, she's here willing to serve with me in this work. And I was like, let me tap her in and say, hey, I just need you to have full creative reins over what we're doing here when we get into the grant, so that way we can achieve this bigger vision. And guess what? It's not putting her at a disadvantage, because again, her partnering with me, I'm a who for her, right? Because I'm working with these organizations, I'm working with these spaces, and I'm saying that they need their copyright done. They need this done. Hey, Melissa, come help, come check my people out. They need your help. They need your skill set. Because if you look at the website, that's been changing, and that's all. Shout out to Melissa, right, at accessgranted.com. Go there, look at, I gave her the ideas and she put her magic on that joint, and it was like, boom, look at there. But also, she's been helping me with that procrastination piece, right? She's also called the procrastination bully. And it's been too long since I've been doing it in this way, because I gotten comfortable in this format. So I was like, hey, Melissa, you take full creative reins. I'm yielding back to you because this is your sweet spot. Let's make this what it is, so that way we can really serve the people in the manner that we need to. And then lastly, it's evaluation, right? A part of the grant process that you need to already have in place and be thinking about within the beginning is how you're going to evaluate this, how you're going to measure it. So for me, I went and just started talking to my family after a couple of weeks. Say, okay, hey, how are we liking this schedule? Like, how are we liking doing things? Is this working? Is this good? Is this what y'all wanted to see? And I got the answers, yes. And then after a month, I was like, okay, cool. Same, like, do y'all like it? Do y'all love it? What can be better? They told me some different things. I'm like, cool. Like, let's again slowly implement that, so that way I can still be better and not burn myself out doing this. So those are the things, right? I'm gonna give you those steps again. First, do your assessment. Your family, with your friends, do that assessment, because it's going to help you to know what you need to do to make changes. Just like in grants, you have to assess, hey, does my community even really want this? Right? I'm thinking they need it, but do they really want this program? Right? So you got to think from that dynamic too. Then reflect, what can you do, and schedule it. Right? I had to see what was really feasible for me to do and how to do it. Make incremental changes. Right? One of the challenges, that you can get into with when you receive those grants, you see all the massive problems and you try to do it all at once, it'll cause burnout. Like, real talk, it'll cause yourself to burn out. But if you do it incrementally, have the right people, which leads me to seeking external help. Having that right person to help you say, okay, cool, this is how we're going to do this to reach that big, audacious goal. You can make it happen. And then lastly, make sure that you're evaluating, tracking the numbers. sometimes it's not easy, not easy. I'm glad I got the Whoop because it automatically does it for me. But, find ways to automate that process to help you out so that way you can truly, evaluate and see if your changes are really having the results that you intended for them to make. So I hope this has been beneficial to you all. Exciting news. One, we are, getting into the grants. I'm actually really excited about the process now because now I have people helping me do this. My family's healthy. My family is one of the most important things to me. But then also what's next important to me is seeing the change in communities, right? Knowing that you all are being, having the capacity to do the work that you need to, and then also that you're tapping into the grant dollars that are out here for you. All this, comes into the way of being prepared, right? And I'm super excited to share this with you all. Oh, nope, not the free community, because that is not, we ain't got that popping yet. So let me close that out. But actually, this right here. Oh yeah, we're back for round 2. Last year, during October, I had a chance to work with the Ronald Shawan Community College and deliver my grant writing workshop. But this year, we're doing it virtually. It's a two-part session virtually. And I'll put the link inside of the description. But if you go to the Ronald Shawan Community College site and then tap on the training section, go down to August 15th and the 23rd, we are going to be delivering just some valuable content to really help you to be prepared, like some real practical steps. I mean, when I get in workshop mode, y'all catching the heat. So I'm super excited that I was able to connect with our small business center director. Just really talking about everything, and then we were able to put this together. So, y'all, I'm gonna give myself a round of applause. Yes, I am thoroughly excited that this is going to be happening. And I don't like to use the word free because sometimes people just come for free stuff and they're not really serious about it. But it is free. This opportunity is free for you all to attend. It's going to be 2 hours on the 15th and on the 23rd. 2 separate pieces of information, but they all work together. We couldn't do it all 4 hours at one time, but so we're doing 2. Y'all, go get signed up. Super simple. For those that are watching this and are in North Carolina, this is an amazing. Your small business centers at your local community college are a great tool to tap into a lot of resources to help your business, your organization to grow. And so, yeah, you may say I'm a nonprofit. No, you are still a business, right? It's just how you're filed through the tax code. You're still a business. You're a ministry. That's still a business, right? Because you're in the business of saving souls, and there needs to be systems and processes, and you can still have a plan to do that. And guess what? As a faith-based organization, you could tap into grant funding, right? One of the first grants I started doing was a $10,000 grant for a local church here. And in northeastern North Carolina, I'm saying here, like, where I live at. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't, but whoever, right? Go to Ronald Shawan Community College. You can Google that, click on training, and go to the dates of October 15th and 23rd. We'll love to see y'all present, having you all there. Again, 2 hours on each day, so come prepared to learn. We're going to have it engaging. So again, make sure you all get registered. I'm also going to drop the link, and you're going to be seeing a lot of promotion going out for this as well too. So make sure y'all, tap in to the training that's available for you. And no, you don't have to be just in North Carolina. You can be anywhere you want to, to tap into this. So with that, you all, I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Again, some more changes. We are working on getting the YouTube page set up and having that. So you can search all this information a lot easier than what you can on Facebook. But from there, love you all. See you next time. Peace.
From the block to the boardroom, we on a mission, talking about plans, yeah, changing conditions. We got a vision, got ambition, to make our communities reach new dimensions. We started from the bottom, now we aiming high. No need to wonder why, we caught the great supply, funding the dreams that were buried inside.